Welcome back to my channel. This is the continuation of Benevolent Hybrid Reptilian Humans. Okay, where I left off was lovely, fantastic. Thank you very much for your visit and have yourself a wonderful life. Tyke said, yes, you too as well. It was very nice to meet you, sir. Jefferson says, yes, likewise. I will have to call upon for name's sake the oldest, Treb Bor for you. I will get him now for you. He will speak to you. One moment, please. Thank you, Jefferson says. Tyke, thank you. Hello, Jefferson. Kai says, hey, it is lovely to speak with you. Kai, it is very nice to speak to you as well. Jefferson, would you mind to tell us your age? Yes, I am 799 or 800 of your years, depending on the month of what time it is here, yes. Jefferson, whoa, thank you. Please go ahead. Yes, I wanted to mostly talk to you all of the degradation of the soul and fear and what fear does. Yes? I see that this is a problem. I see that this is probably the most worst issue that you have on your planet. As people that are not willing to not be afraid, it is also an issue within themselves that destroys. So I wish to speak of what the degradation of the soul is in respects to fear. Please do. Fear is the worst. It is considered as a virus in the soul. What this does to your soul is it disconnects you from every ability to connect to your soul. Your soul is in the non-physical sense is who you are, a larger part of who you are. When this connection is made, fear is the greatest disconnector of this message throughout. Fear causes all of the other negative emotions. Fear causes greed. Fear causes hatred. Fear causes anger. Directly or indirectly, all of this comes from fear. Most don't see this connection in this way. So the way I will explain this, when you fear or when you hate someone, you hate them for a specific reason in your mind. You rationalize this to a point that you make yourself believe it, but it is not valid. If you hate someone for the reason that they have done something to you, you do not hate them for this reason. You hate them because you are in fear that they might do this again to you. You are in fear that you will have to experience what has been done to you again. It is not really hate. It is not really hatred. It is a fear in an indirect manner. Every negative emotion that you have, you connect to this. For example, jealousy. If you are jealous of your spouse, your wife or husband, and you say, I believe that they are cheating on me, it is because you are afraid to be without them. You are afraid not to be in their presence or to have them sexually adulterate themselves. This comes from the fear. Greed comes from the very basic lack or fear of lack, not having enough for yourself. It comes in fear that you will not have the extravagant or the best possible experience that you can have. This is where it comes from. This issue is one that is high in your society. People who contact through Treb Bor, one of the greatest concerns that he has told us about is through meditation. They cannot take care of meditation in a way that is comfortable to them. It is because of the fear that causes this, fear of them not being able to do it right, fear of small things. The fear of small things all the way to the large things is not important. If you look at the control system that is set up that is based on fear on your planet, the money system, the government system set up the money and makes you afraid that they will run out of it, so that you are under their control. If you break the spheres, you break this control to a way. But the fear is what holds you to all of these negative things. Not only control in this way, but a fear of change. They get you to do something in your life in a repetitive fashion and make you afraid to change. These things are set up because they are all fear-based. They know that fear can be a powerful controller. When you give into this fear, you are giving into all the things that give yourself freedoms. These freedoms are important for you to have because this is the way it is designed. The free will is the way that it works. It is the way that you are supposed to be as a spiritual being and as a physical entity. You should have the right to choose. When you choose to have fear, this limits the rest of your choices in a very good way. The fear that you experience physically will attack, as Tyke has spoken of previously. The fear issues can break down the body in negative ways. This is where all of the diseases that you have come from is from fear, even though they have ones that are manufactured. All of these sicknesses within your body and the way they react to your body in a negative way is caused from fear. Fear is a disease of the body in a way that one other person has said that is a dis-ease of the soul and a dis-ease of the body. This is why the body breaks down. You have what you would say ulcers in the stomach. It is from cause of worry. The energy belt around your stomach, the chakra that is within your stomach area, When you get nervous and upset, this is the one that becomes blocked so that all that negativity energy is there. It causes the stomach to not react in a proper way to make the holes that go within the stomach. This is the ulcer. It causes heart diseases from the rapid pulsations of the heart, because in the chakra is where you love from. If you are stopped from loving because of fear, this interferes with the physical heart itself. All of these fears can be linked. All of the bad issues within the body can link to fear itself. You can see very many different ways: the strokes, the heartaches, or the heart attacks, or heartaches, heart diseases, ulcers. All these come from fear. So you ask, how will we defeat this fear? What is the way that we can overstep this and move on? It is of two ways. It is by understanding, and it is by love. When you love, it is an energy that will overcome fear in a physical sense. When your body is not working right, it helps. Understanding is the other way. You must understand that you must take care of your physical self. You must not put bad things into it. And it is not even that foods are bad in the sense of what is bad for your body, and not this. It is the intent of the food. Because your belief systems are around unhealthy foods like sugars, conservatives. The ones who manufacture this say natural is bad. So all of the negative intent of their making foods that are bad for your body. The energy itself goes within the food, and then the food enters the body and has negative effects because of your beliefs on this. So you are feeding yourself negativity. Nutrition is not a way of sustaining the body as much as it is showing the body intent of taking in positivity. This is why when you think of positive foods, you tend to be healthy. When you think of negative foods, you tend to be sick. This is the reason. It is not the food itself. It is the intent and the energy that is put in this. We manifest our own foods on our planet, and we do this out of pure love. We collect what you might think of as a collecting the atoms out of physical existence to make this food, and we do this with love. This is what gives us the proper health that we need, because we only let love into our body. So the love is the best overcomer of all the negative effects of the negativity and fear. When you learn to harness this love, it becomes more strong than any energy that you have. This is the greatest way to overcome all issues of fear. When you have someone who is completely living in fear, like in paranoia, they tend to also step outside of the boundaries of the now. They tend to see themselves not in today, not in what they are doing now, but in what they should be doing or what they should have done in life. So they step outside of the now, and now is the natural place to be. This is where love occurs, in the now. You cannot love in the past, and you cannot love in the future, because you cannot send that emotion there. You can only have memories of love, or you can send good intentions into the future. This is why people who are paranoid, who are constantly thinking outside of the now, also tend to get physical or spiritual issues because of the fear. It blocks off the ability to have your whole consciousness here with you in the now. When this is done, you take away the full effect that love can have, especially when you are not using it to overcome the fear. The fear is the worst regressive and degrading issue to the physical body and the soul. When you remember that all the body is a manifestation of your soul. Those who have imbalances in the body have imbalances in the soul. This is the way it has to be. This is the way it must work, because you create the body with the mind or with the consciousness. Once you learn to harness this love to overcome things, you will see. Understanding your race now better than I ever have, I see that it is very important for you to understand the negativity of fear. If you cannot look at love in a positive sense, then look at fear in the negative sense, as you do not want to do this. If this book helps you embrace the way of love, and even if you do not want to embrace love for love's sake, it is still okay to embrace it, because you do not want negativity or fear. This is an acceptable way for this path, but it doesn't matter how you love. It matters if you love. Love is the best ingredient over the fear. This is what I wish to speak to you, or with your people. Jefferson, fantastic. We still have a couple of minutes to go, if you don't mind. I would like to ask you a couple of questions. Yes, I do not mind. All right. On our planet, and this is more of a comment and a confirmation from you, some spiritual teachers say that we are born with only two fears. They say the first one is loud noise, and the other one is fear of falling. Then they go on to say that everything else, every other fear, we learn as belief system as we grow up. Yes, these are natural born fear for your race. Yes, falling and loud noises. It is not learned as you can see in a book. It is not in that fashion. It is learned from the vibrational fears of others. If you stand next to someone who is constantly in fear, the negative vibrations of that person are taught to you. It is almost memorized within yourself, within the makeup of your physical body. It is memorized, and this is how it is taught, along with being afraid of other things. When you are raised to watch your parents cry and fight over money, then you become afraid to not have it. Yes, this is very true in this way. When you are born, your soul is fresh into a physical existence. You are most connected at the time of birth to your higher self than you ever are throughout your whole life, unless you work on this extremely. Even if you are what your people consider gurus or higher spiritual people, it is still never as clear a connection as it is at birth. So in a way, you are very correct in that way of seeing it, yes. Jefferson, awesome, thank you. The other thing I would like to say is that when we are born into this reality on Earth, we understand from day one that we must obey others, otherwise we are not going to have enough. It starts at an early age with our parents, and when they say, you will either do this as I am telling you to, or else you are not going to have something. So then we learn to function in that way. And from there, as we grow up, we reproduce those understanding of life and society, even for jobs that we don't like because we fear that we are not going to have enough, and then we are happy with anything we have, even with this corrupt and outdated system, the monetary system. So what is your suggestion then for us and for those of us that are parents, as far as education goes, to educate their children, not to respond to menaces that we have to do, but to live freely and teach our freedom? This is mostly going along with the ability to let your children think freely and express themselves, not to place those fears on them by arguing in front of them or expressing those needs. Do not dominate the child. If you treat the child as a young adult or as child should be treated, then you treat them with the respect that you would give to your wife, brother, or parents. You must respect them and treat them as another human instead of as a subordinate. You must not hold things over their head. You must not punish them. You express to them what is right or wrong. The way that as punishment goes, I understand that this is done differently around the world, but you cannot put them in fear to lose things or put them in fear of physical harm. You must show them that when they make bad decisions that there are consequences, but show them in a way that does not devastate them in that fashion and do not break their will. I understand that some people treat the children as they do animals, and there is a reason that this is done. It is because it is how it's taught. You do not do this, or I will hit you, or I will take this away. Let them make decisions, even if you know that they are bad decisions. Be there with them to support them through this. If they do not express who they truly are, and if they are suppressed that they are always worried, it goes into exactly the conversation of fear. When you make them afraid by showing them these simple things, as you were explaining, and taking jobs that you are not happy at because you are afraid to not have, all of these things, the human brain picks up all these things at an early age. Most things that are learned as far as behaviors are learned well before a child is even when you consider a teenager. So all of these things have to be looked at carefully. You must treat them with respect. You must treat them as an equal because they are your equal. They are just a younger version of an equal. Jefferson. So the real job of parents then, as you are saying, is basically to teach them to follow their own emotional guidance system. The one within inside you? Yes, and to support them when their decisions end up causing issues of fear or pain when they make a bad decision in your eyes. Even if they make a bad decision in your eyes, it might not be a bad decision for them, but you are right. Treat them with respect and support them, and teach them that they are the ones responsible for their actions and consequences. Jefferson, and for the children that are reading this book then, would you then perhaps suggest almost the same thing? To treat their parents kindly and love them? Because if their parents knew better, they would do better? Most definitely. This is something that is seen from the youth of treating the parents more disrespectfully and more harshly. If your parents are loving and they have your greatest concern in their hearts for you, even if they do something that you do not agree with, even if they do something that is not normal to your perspective, it is because they are only trying to do the best for you. Just as how anything goes, really, just because they don't understand your specific situation, it does not mean that they do not care or love you. Awesome. Would you say that our examples are the best teachers? Yes, experience is a teacher. That is why the physical existence is made as it is, for us to experience and to teach the soul. And in trade, the soul will teach the higher entities this, and then those unfoldments teach the Creator himself. That is why the physical existence is here for the Creator to be taught everything that they have been taught. That is why there are infinite universal systems in all of this. But Mr. Kai, I understood, all right, but I think more in the way that we must lead the power of our own examples, right? If we are parents, we must give good examples, and if we are children or the young adults, we need as well as lead them by example and be a Gandhi, like Gandhi said, the change that we want to see in the world. Yes, you are exactly correct. This is the way because so many people have spoken to Treb and the man I am speaking through now about how do I change others. Don't change them. You cannot change others. What you do is that you show that you are the greatest one that you can be. They look at you and sometimes they almost envy. They say, how can you be so happy? How can you live in such a great existence? I remember I used to be so happy and optimistic, and I still am, but not as much as I used to be. And I used to have a friend that used to always, she said that my happiness made her like angry, annoyed. No, it annoyed her. My happiness annoyed her. I couldn't understand it. I just could not understand that. But anyway, I still don't understand it. If anyone understands that, let me know. That is when it will open up and see what worked for you, what loving yourself can do, and how fear gets in the way of doing greatly in all of this. You know, I look forward to the day when we can teach in our schools the art of waving an exceptional existence. Can't wait. It will be a great time for your race. Anyways, I thank you very much. Do you have any parting thoughts? Kaya says, yes, just that we love you all and that we are here for your support. And Treb Bor is a great man and who will help you along the way in the best ways that he can. We are all here for your support because we are you and you are all of us. When the world as a whole sees this, then you will see us also with your own eyes. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Kai Bor. Would you be so kind to allow Treb to come back so I can say goodbye to him as well? Yes, I will do this, and I will get him now for you. Thank you for your time and your helping others, because your heart being pure is what helps as you lead by example. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for your timelessness. Yes, goodbye for now. Hey, my friend, welcome back. How did everything go for you? For me, excellent. I am sure for our readers, too. Great. I wish to express the gratitude, not just from Tyke and from myself and also from Kai, but from all of our people. We wish to express great happiness that you have opened your hearts to us. It is hard for some humans, even the ones who have the belief systems that are greater in the ways of understanding that our existence is true. But because of our appearance and because of the ones that appear to be similar to us who are not in such a loving predicament, as you would say, the Ancient Reptilians. I appreciate you for opening up your heart in this way to us and trying to look into our lives to see things that might help yours and your people's lives. I wish to express for this the greatest of gratitudes, and I want to say thank you for doing this, to take time out of your life to do this. Jefferson, well, from my perspective, this is a great joy for me, and whatever I can do in order for us to get closer to the best us that we can be, I will. I am the one who has really to thank you all, because being from a higher expression of existence, you definitely could have so much more. You definitely could have so much more that you could be doing that would be fun and excitement and joy for you to do this instead. Yet you are here sharing your knowledge and helping us out. So thank you very much. Yes, Treb says, you are welcome. And this is my joy as well. This is why I do the job that I do, because it's fun. This is an expression of my greatest enjoyment, actually, as well. So thank you once again. Was there anything that you needed before we go? Perhaps just to know where and what you are up to now. I'm still at home planet right now. I am speaking to one of the medical advisors. Someone has wished for me to come into the medical and to get my energy and support because they are ready to have one of the offsprings of their own. This is where I am at this time. Well, how do you help? I do not help in any way but giving my love. As much as you might see a blessing from someone, it is where you ask the parents of the wife that you wish to marry her. Is it a blessing and it is one of love? Is it an expression of gratitude for the new offspring that they bring into the existence here? It is our fellow beings that are coming back to us. Reincarnation, pretty much. But it is not like a help in energy that helps the physician crack the egg. No, it is more of a being here for their support in the emotional and loving way. Fantastic. Yes, lovely. Thank you very much, sharing, and I look forward to talking to you again. Yes, I look forward to speaking to you again as well. I will leave you now in love and light. We will speak again very soon. And that's it for this one. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you for joining me.